not true. It's very low, it's very slimy, and it's a lie. And it's still running. So this man does not have the decency that he purports to have. And he does not like being seen as a guy who's not a nice guy. He hates it. We have to remind him, you're not a nice guy.
You're a liar.
You are a liar. You are taking Paul Ryan's money heavily, and it is going to gut Social Security. You are taking that money and promising to protect the tax bill. And
so, is everybody ready? Huh? Okay, I will try to be loud for you. Is everybody over here ready? Okay. So we're here today. I was hoping to welcome Speaker of the House Paul Ryan to the city of Syracuse. It's not often that we have the Speaker of the House visiting us here. And I was hoping that Paul Ryan would want to come and get to know us and get to know our community and visit with some of the folks in the city of Syracuse and learn about some of the issues that we're facing. Syracuse is the 13th poorest city in the country. Our families and friends and neighbors are facing a lot of challenges, and I think it would do the speaker well to learn a little bit about that. But instead of coming here and getting to know us, instead of coming here and learning about the challenges that are facing our community, he's coming here to host a $1,000 a plate fundraiser with Congressman John Katko. Why is he doing that? So that John Katko can help him keep control of the House of Representatives. That is important to them because they have an agenda that includes slashing Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. These are critically important programs to the very people who live here in the city of Syracuse and all across our district. Hard-working families who need these programs. And Paul Ryan and John Katko and the GOP have an agenda that is about slashing those programs. Less than 24 hours ago, John Katko was talking to us, swearing up and down that he would never support cutting Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. And yet here we are today, and he is literally standing with the architect of the plan to do just that. Paul Ryan is the architect of the plan to slash Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. He doesn't keep it a secret. He talks to us about it all the time. He told us before the tax bill passed that what was coming next were attacks on Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. He has told us, the American people, that he has been dreaming about cutting these programs since he was in college. It is no secret that that is his agenda. It is no secret that that is the GOP's agenda. It is no secret that that is Mitch McConnell's agenda. Mitch McConnell was on TV today telling us the very same thing. It is time to get rid of Paul Ryan and John Katko's GOP and their efforts to undermine Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid, the programs that are vital to working families of Central and Western New York. It is time to send someone to Washington, D.C. who is going to fight for us, who is going to fight for the families of our district and work hard to protect and expand these incredibly important programs. Thank you. And I'm happy to take any questions if you have.
What do you think it says about the status of Congressman's campaign? The speaker's coming 3 weeks until the election.
Well, I think that the speaker is here to prop up a flailing campaign. The fundraising reports that we just saw demonstrate that John Katko doesn't have very much support. He has incredibly little support from individuals, from voters, from the people that he's supposed to represent. And I think it's clear that that's because they know he doesn't represent them. He works for Paul Ryan and the GOP. He works for his corporate donors who do most of the funding of his campaigns. And he works for entrenched interests. The people of Central and Western New York are sick of that. They want someone who's going to show up, who's going to listen, and who's going to stand up for them. They clearly know that's not John Katko. I think Paul Ryan is here to try and rescue his campaign, but I don't think it's going to work because, as I said, Paul Ryan's agenda is about cutting the very programs that people here in Central and Western New York need. And every time John Katko votes with and for Paul Ryan, he is supporting that agenda.
If Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi wanted to come and fundraise for you at something private, would you say no thank you?
So I'm a big fan of public events. I prefer to have the things that my campaign does open and accessible to the voters because that's how I believe politics should be. I would love to welcome some of our great leaders like President Barack Obama and Vice President Joe Biden to our district. I would want that day to be full of visits with the community, learning about what our district has to offer and what the challenges we face are. I would want them to meet and talk to our voters. I would want to give our voters the opportunity to thank them for fighting so hard for so many years, for programs like the Affordable Care Act that have expanded health insurance to tens of millions of people, and give the people here in this district the opportunity to say thank you to somebody who works for them, who has worked so hard for them. And I think, again, that's what people here in the district are looking for, is an open, engaged process with people who stand up for the little guy.
Would you say no if they offered, though, a private fundraising event?
I would ask them to make it public. Ms. Balter, how do you feel about the fundraising you've done for this? I'm very proud of our fundraising efforts. Our campaign is overwhelmingly powered by individual donors. The vast majority of our contributions are small dollar donations, under $200. And I think that what that represents is that this is a campaign of the people. This campaign is for the people, and this campaign is powered by the people. And that's the essence of what democracy is, what our democracy is supposed to be. I'm incredibly proud of what we've done, and I'm incredibly honored to have the support of so many people.
I see some of your supporters trying to engage with the people walking into the event. Is that something that you like happening? Are you hoping to get a message across to each of these individuals who presumably paid to be here?
I think they get the message. I think one of the things that's really great about living in this country is that we have the right to speak our minds. One of the things that I've tried to encourage throughout the course of this campaign and through the rest of my life, whether it's teaching or organizing, is about the value of civil discourse and having people engage in conversation and express their ideas and their needs and make sure that their government hears them.
Should these people be shouted at, though, as they're walking into the building?
I don't think that there's really anything wrong with people standing in a public space, whether they are protesting, whether they are asking questions. That's sort of a fundamental piece of our democracy. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much.
Are you cold? As I am.
I am not, because I brought a jacket. I wanted to have only debates in the city of Syracuse in the last week and a half or so of the campaign. And he wanted those all to be in closed studios. I wanted to have a longer debate schedule with more events, including debates in other counties, so that people all across the district could have the opportunity to have their concerns addressed. And I wanted to do some debates in front of live audiences because I think engaging the voters in this process is really important.
Thank you very much.